The farm we're watching is a large dairy farm in northwest Iowa. We actually work with 3 different dairy farms in the area, and then we have our gas upgrade site. So a total of 4 sites in Sioux and Lyon County that we're working on. Our 4 sites, the 3 dairies and the gas upgrade site, are all within a circle of around 12 to 14 miles from each other. So this farm that we're reviewing today is a very large farm. We work with 2 very large farms and 1 smaller farm, and the 3 of them combined have a total of over 20,000 lactating cows. There's 2 basic types of digesters. One is plug flow and one is continuous stirred. A plug flow is a style of digester where manure is pumped in one end of the digester, and the only way for it to leave the digester is it has to flow the entire length of the digester before it can head to the effluent pit and be pumped out. So on all of our dairies, we use plug flow type digesters. On 2 of the farms, the larger 2, we actually have 3 individual digesters side by side. And then on a smaller farm, we have 1. So we have a total of 7 plug flow digesters, each of them holding roughly 2 million gallons of manure. So for each of the 3 dairies, the manure management system has not changed dramatically. Before the dairies, the manure would go straight from the barns to the lagoons. So on all of the farms, they're in charge of collecting the manure out of their pens, out of the barn, whether it be scraping with a skid loader or a vac wagon or whatever the farm uses. And all of our farms use sand for bedding. So we have sand-laden manure that gets sent to a sand separation building. It's a mechanical separation. We use a series of augers and rotary drums, cyclones, things like that to remove the sand out of the manure. 1, because the farm wants that sand back to be recycled, to be used for bedding. And 2, we do not want that sand to go in the digester. Because if it goes in the digester, it will just settle out and fill up the digester, and also it's sand, so it has no gas producing capability. So once we do that, then the manure gets pumped into the digester. All of our digesters are sized to hold the manure for a theoretical 21 days. That's when we can get the vast majority of the gas produced. We add supplemental heat to the digester, try to keep the digesters roughly 101 degrees. And then we add some agitation just to help the manure fibers stay in suspension and not settle out. And then the gas starts to be produced. And then we have a gas conditioning skid that will pull the gas off the top of the digester. And it is wet gas. The raw biogas has moisture in it, and we need to take that out. So the gas conditioning skid will run it through a glycol chiller to drop the moisture out. And then after it does that, that gas conditioning skid will push it into an underground pipeline. We have built several miles of underground pipeline that hooks the 3 farms up with the gas upgrade site. So that is how the raw biogas is transferred to the one location. And then at that location, the first thing we do is make one more attempt to take any more moisture out. And then the process of sorting the good gas, which is the methane, apart from the tail gas, which is mainly carbon dioxide, a little bit hydrogen sulfide, and a few other small gases in minute amounts. Raw biogas will have methane usually from 56 to 60%, something like that. And we'll clean it up to it's roughly about 99% methane. So it can match the quality of gas that's in the pipeline currently. And then we take that pure methane and we run it through a compressor that gets it up to the same level of pressure that's in the pipeline so that we can inject it. And that is a 24-hour-day process. Digesters are obviously working constantly, making gas, so we're taking that gas and processing it 24/7. On all three of our dairies, once we are done with the manure, it flows into an effluent pit in our digester, and we pump it back to the farm, and it's up to the farm what they want to do with that. In all three cases, the manure goes to the lagoons for storage until it is land applied. Two of the farms, the manure goes directly to the lagoon, and on one of the farms, he does run the manure through some solid separation equipment before it goes to the lagoon. But it is stored just like it was before to be used for organic fertilizer. For the dairy farm, having a Gevo digester on their farm doesn't require any day-to-day activity on part of the dairyman or his staff. We have a staff of 4 operators and a couple of maintenance people that go around, make the rounds, and do all the work, operations, and maintenance concerning the digester and related equipment. In working with the farms, it's a circular economy, and it needs to be a win for all of us. And for the farm, we have fuel supply agreements with them. There's benefits to them as well from an environmental standpoint. Working in the local communities, they're no longer emitting methane into the atmosphere through the open covered lagoons. There's better odor control, and so there's added benefits to the dairy to have us there on their farms. And then of course we're there because we hopefully can take that raw biogas, put it in the pipeline, and help provide low carbon fuel. In Iowa, there are numerous digesters being built on dairy farms. Besides our project, there are other competitors out there that are putting up digesters. So there's a lot of activity, which is exciting in the industry. This is our Gevo's only RNG project at the moment, but we are looking for other opportunities out there for Gevo to grow its RNG business.